Long before European ships crossed the Atlantic, the continents of North and South America were home to vast and complex civilizations. These societies developed sophisticated systems of government, architecture, agriculture, trade, and religion. They thrived in environments ranging from Arctic, tropical jungles, windswept plains, and the mountain ranges of the Andes. Their histories reveal human ingenuity, cultural diversity, and resilience. In the North, the Mississippian culture rose to prominence between the 9th and 15th centuries, centered around the fertile floodplains of the Mississippi River and its tributaries. At its height, it produced some of the largest urban centers in pre-Columbian North America, most famously the city of Cahokia near present-day St. Louis. Cahokia was a thriving metropolis with monumental earthen mounds, some serving as platforms for temples and elite residences, others as burial sites. The largest mound, known as Monk's Mound, rose nearly 100 feet high and covered more than 14 acres. This city was a hub of trade, drawing in goods like copper from the Great Lakes, shells from the Gulf Coast, and obsidian from the Rocky Mountains. Social hierarchy was pronounced, religious ceremonies were elaborate, and the agricultural base relied heavily on the cultivation of corn, known as maize. While Cahokia's decline remains a topic of debate, environmental pressures, resource depletion, and social unrest likely played roles. Farther west, in the arid deserts and plateaus of the American Southwest, the ancestral Puebloans, often referred to as the Anasazi, built a remarkable civilization. They mastered dryland farming, constructing intricate irrigation systems to grow maize, beans, and squash. Their architectural achievements included multi-storied stone dwellings and cliffside villages, such as those at Mesa Verde and Chaco Canyon. Chaco, in particular, stood as a ceremonial, economic, and political center, its massive great houses constructed from carefully shaped sandstone blocks and aligned with astronomical events. By the late 13th century, prolonged drought and social stress contributed to the dispersal of the ancestral Puebloans into smaller, scattered settlements where their descendants continue to live today. In the Pacific Northwest, abundant natural resources supported complex coastal societies such as the Haida, Tlingit, and Kwakwaka'wakw. Here, towering cedar forests, rivers teeming with salmon, and access to ocean trade allowed for a unique form of prosperity without reliance on intensive agriculture. These peoples built massive plank houses from red cedar, carved monumental totem poles to represent clan lineages and stories, and held elaborate ceremonies that reinforced social status through the distribution of wealth. Their economies blended fishing, hunting, and gathering with extensive trade networks that stretched far inland. In the eastern woodlands, diverse cultures flourished, from the Iroquois Confederacy in the north to the Muskogean-speaking peoples in the south. The Iroquois Confederacy was a powerful alliance of nations such as the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca, later joined by the Tuscarora. Bound together by the Great Law of Peace, they developed a sophisticated system of representative governance in which decisions were made by councils and consensus. This political unity provided stability, enabled coordinated defense, and fostered prosperity. Agricultural abundance from the Three Sisters crops of corn, beans, and squash supported large towns and facilitated growth. Turning southward into Mesoamerica, the Aztec Empire stood as one of the most formidable states of the late pre-Columbian era. Rising in the 14th century, the Aztecs established their capital, Tenochtitlan, on an island in Lake Texcoco. The city was a marvel of engineering, with canals, causeways, aqueducts, and massive temples dominating its skyline. The Aztec state expanded through military conquest and strategic alliances, bringing a vast territory under its influence. Tribute from conquered regions flowed into Tenochtitlan, fueling an economy that supported artisans, priests, warriors, and farmers. The Aztecs' religious life was deeply intertwined with warfare and sacrifice, as they believed that the gods required human blood to sustain the universe. While their militarism made them feared, their cultural achievements in poetry, art, and astronomy left an enduring legacy. Before the Aztecs, the Maya civilization had reached extraordinary heights in the jungles of present-day Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. The classic Maya period, from roughly 250 to 900 CE, saw the rise of city-states such as Tikal, Palenque, and Copan. These urban centers featured grand pyramids, palaces, and ball courts, with structures aligned to celestial events. The Maya developed one of the most sophisticated writing systems in the ancient world, along with an intricate calendar and advanced astronomical knowledge. Their society was organized into powerful dynasties, each ruled by a king who was seen as both a political leader and a divine figure. Agricultural innovation allowed them to thrive in difficult environments, with terracing, raised fields, and irrigation sustaining large populations. Although many major cities were abandoned by the end of the Classic period, Maya culture endured. Still earlier in Mesoamerica, the Olmec civilization laid the cultural foundations for later societies. Flourishing from around 1200 to 400 BCE along the Gulf Coast, the Olmec are often referred to as the mother culture of Mesoamerica. They are best known for their colossal stone heads, carved from basalt and thought to represent rulers. Olmec centers like San Lorenzo and La Venta showcased advanced urban planning, ceremonial complexes, and monumental art. They also appear to have developed the earliest known writing and calendrical systems in the region. Many religious symbols, such as the feathered serpent, originated in Olmec culture and were adopted by later civilizations. South America, too, was home to remarkable civilizations. In the high Andes, the Inca Empire emerged in the early 15th century, and within a century grew into the largest empire in the pre-Columbian Americas. From their capital at Cusco, the Inca ruled over a vast territory stretching from modern-day Ecuador to central Chile. This achievement was made possible by an extraordinary network of roads, suspension bridges, and administrative centers that allowed for efficient communication and movement of armies. The Incas also practiced child sacrifice, known as capacocha, as an offering to honor gods and ensure prosperity. Children were selected for their beauty and purity. Sacrifice methods included burial or freezing, as many rituals occurred on snow-capped peaks. The Inca economy relied on terraced agriculture and the cultivation of potatoes, maize, and quinoa, with a labor tax system called the mita supplying manpower for imperial projects. Their stone masonry remains legendary, with sites such as Machu Picchu demonstrating both aesthetic refinement and seismic resistance. Without a written script, the Inca kept records using the quipu, a system of knotted strings that conveyed numerical data. Religion was central to their governance, with the emperor considered a descendant of the sun god Inti. Preceding the Inca in the Andes were cultures such as the Mochi, who thrived along the northern coast of Peru between 100 and 700 CE. The Mochi are renowned for their skill in metallurgy, ceramics, and irrigation engineering. They constructed monumental adobe pyramids like the Huaca del Sol and Huaca de la Luna, which served as ceremonial and political centers. Moche art, particularly their pottery, vividly depicted scenes of daily life, warfare, and mythology, providing valuable insights into their society. Farther south, in what is now Chile and Argentina, the Mapuche maintained a decentralized, warrior-based society. Though they did not construct monumental architecture like the Inca, they developed strong military traditions and resisted outside domination for centuries, successfully holding off both Inca and Spanish advances. In the Amazon basin, numerous complex societies thrived, though the rainforest environment limited the durability of their archaeological remains. Recent discoveries have revealed networks of earthworks, raised fields, and managed forests, indicating that the Amazon was not a pristine wilderness, but a highly managed cultural landscape. From the Arctic tundra to the southern tip of South America, the civilizations of the Americas before European contact were as diverse as the landscapes they inhabited. They built monumental cities, created intricate works of art, developed complex systems of governance, and engineered landscapes to sustain their populations. Each adapted to their environment in unique ways, yet all shared an ability to organize large communities, trade over vast distances, and integrate spiritual beliefs deeply into daily life. When Europeans arrived, they encountered not untouched wilderness, but continents alive with political power, economic vitality, and cultural sophistication. These civilizations, though profoundly transformed in the centuries that followed, continue to shape the heritage and identity of the Americas today.